live once again, back with another one. All right, so a couple of topics that we're going to talk about today. Hold on just a second. Let me get this thumbnail going on here, along with some of the descriptions, and then we're going to get started. So it was a great live stream that we did this morning. I figured, you know what, it was so nice, I had to do it twice. So here we are, back at it again with more MMA news, more updates on all the things that is going on in the world of MMA. But first, let's get this started. Oh, first, a little housekeeping notes. Wanted to let you guys know, obviously, the Ilya Tapora video is out today. Hopefully, you guys go and check that out. All right. Okay. Let's get this going right here. All right, bear with me for a second, okay? Mic check 1 2. Okay, we got the mic going. Okay, perfect. We got that going. All right, now on to the thumbnail. The thumbnail of all thumbnails. Okay. Here we go. All right, now we got the thumbnail going. All right. Sorry doing the little behind the scenes with you guys, but you know, wanted to get this live going straight away, and here we are. So hold on just a second. All right. Okay, hold on a second here. All right, so there it is. We got the description going, we got the thumbnail, and we're ready to rock. So we are ready to rock within 5 minutes of this show. So 5 minutes into the show starts. Okay, so there it is, right? So in 30 seconds, we're going to get right on and running with this show and talk about what we're going to talk about and go on from there. So we are about 20 seconds away from that. 15 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so far it has been 1 week since the retirement of Dustin Poirier. And one thing came to mind when I started seeing this. I realized that he was given a much more special retirement than that of Jon Jones. And I think that is self explanatory, but then at the same time, is it really? We really do wonder what is it about Dustin Poirier that that the fans wanted to give this type of special retirement. He had Little Wayne walk him out. He had the video package. There were a lot of people that got video packages as well, but why not Jon Jones? Well, I think there is a simple answer to that particular problem that you're trying to solve here, and that is this: Jon Jones did not give up his belt when he fought Stipe. That would have been the perfect time to have done it, walked away, and knowing that there was no way you could have beaten that particular performance to any degree, right? He even said it himself. If that was the last time that I will ever fight, and I quote from Jon Jones, I would have fought in front of my president, I would have fought in front of my home state, and nothing could beat that. And being one of the best of all time, the guy that has the record for having the most title defenses in all of the UFC. So it would have been perfect. And then from then on, if he made it into an intention that, hey guys, this is going to be my last fight, then they will prepare and they will give you a surprise. Look, there are a lot of people out there that don't like surprises. And to your surprise, you'll find out that a lot of people don't give them surprise birthday parties, okay? But for the people that like surprises, they definitely will do that for, and only you and a group of your friends can understand your own personality in order to understand exactly what that is or what the proper procedure is in that particular light, okay? So here's another thing you got to understand too, right? The other aspect of Jon Jones is Jon Jones committing all the transgressions that he's committed in the past couple of years. That doesn't go unnoticed, okay? And the unfortunate reality of Jon Jones and his mishaps are forever going to be entrenched in the minds of many people, okay? So people don't forget that. And as a result of people not forgetting the reality of Jon Jones doing these things, it's hard for people to give him a hero's welcome. And that's really what this is about. He can't get a hero's welcome because how can he if the world is too busy looking at all the uh, issues that he's caused over the years? But ultimately, what I'm saying is, yes, that's true. But the first one that I said, I think, has a higher probability of being the real case as to why Dustin Poirier got a better send off than Jon Jones. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in perspective. All right, so let's see here. Jon Jones and DC. There's a little beef going on with Jon Jones and DC right now. Some online beef they have going on. Let me see here.
I never once mentioned his name. He goes to X and he says, DC said he wants to kill me at his house. I already buried him twice in the octagon. Third time I'm bringing the shovel. Not true. I never said I wanted to kill him at my house. Those assholes must have left more than bruises. I feel like I'm the most painful thing that ever happened to that man's life. Emotional damage. Okay, lots of unpack there. I do a job. I can't omit that. No, actually, because of our history, people want my take on what's happening with Jon Jones more than anybody. But we can't fight. So, like, why would I let you occupy space in my head? Only an insecure person would go immediately. That's
What's up, my guy? NJ03 says, what's up, my guy? How are you, man? Thank you for tapping in. What do you think about all this? DC and what he said. Let's replay that back again. Very interesting, a lot to unpack there.
I never once mentioned his name. He goes to X and he says, DC said he wants to kill me at his house. I already buried him twice in the octagon. Third time I'm bringing the shovel. Not true. I never said I wanted to kill him at my house. Those accidents must have left more than bruises. I feel like I'm the most painful thing that ever happened to that man's life. Emotional damage. Okay, lots to unpack there. I do a job. I can't omit that. No, actually, because of our history, people want my take on what's happening with Jon Jones more than anybody. But we can't fight something. Why would I let you occupy space in my head? Only an insecure person would go immediately, he's talking about me. You can't say you're the most painful thing that's happened in a person's life when they've lost a child. That's the craziest thing.
You know what? I have to agree with DC on this one, right? DC said he lost a child. He had his dad unalive, and Jon Jones said that he is, living inside the head of DC. Okay, competition wise, here's the complicated aspect of this, right? If we're going to talk real competition wise, the answer is yes. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with that answer right away. The answer is yes. DC is a very competitive man. He wanted to go down as the greatest mixed martial arts ever, but there was one person in the whole entire UFC that was preventing him from doing that, and that was Jon Jones. So, from the competitive uh, spirit that Daniel Cormier has, I'm going to have to agree that he does rent space in his head. But if we're talking about real life, you're talking about a guy that lost his child and lost his dad to MURDR. Okay? So, real life, yes. Real competition, I'm sorry, real life, no. Real competition, yes. NJ03 says, I agree with you. CL petition wise, but not competition wise, yes, but not in life. Yeah, yeah. So, in one turn, you are correct. He does live in DC's head rent free, but that's only within competition. Look, once the sweat dries and you're out of the gym and you're out of the arena or out of the whatever venue that you're fighting at, you're going home to a real life. So whatever problems you had going on, a win or a loss is not going to fix that unless, of course, your wins and losses are predicated on win show money and you needed to win money in order to pay certain amounts of bills. But that's neither here or there. By the end of it all, real life is real life and competition is competition. So that's sort of what I think about that particular regard. So yeah, so I agree with the competition, just not in real life. So
In the world, you say I'm the most painful thing that's happened in a person's life when they lost a child or their father got murdered. But again, he knows that. But that's why you know you're dealing with a different type of human being.
okay, now that part right there, I'm very interested in. He says, "Oh, but John knows that. John knows that his dad was unalive. He knows that he lost a child. But when he says that when you're dealing with somebody like Jon Jones, that's a different human being. That's what it is. NJ03 says, but I will say when competing is your life, it hits different. It does. It does, but still, in comparison to the real life scenarios of that of Daniel Cormier, I think, I think that's the best way to, really put it and understand it. And you also got to remember, right, Jon Jones is always going to take a shot at DC. DC is always going to take a shot at Jon Jones. There's always that inherent jealousy between them that stems from just hardcore competition, right? So, I mean, take a look at this off the air trash talk that both of these guys have with each other right here.
Can you hear that, John?
You got your ass whooped today, buddy.
No, I didn't. You're see.
Oh, yeah, you did.
You're such a little. Oh my God.
I had you on your back. You suck, bro.
You're such a little.
Felt so weak. I'm glad to know that.
You're tiny. I'm like, this dude sucks.
Everybody say you're so strong. You're weak.
Okay.
You're a little fat.
You're
John. Oh my God, you're so weak.
First off, you hit like a. If you even hit me.
Yeah. I hit like a. But I didn't hit you. You didn't
because I didn't even feel it.
Oh,
I felt Melky's parts more than yours, you little fucking punk.
Oh, yeah, you're so mad. I can hear it in your voice.
Melky? Wait, hold up. So that means the manager was getting in on the action too? Let me find out. The manager was getting in on the action as well.
Okay, John. I can't wait to beat shit out of you.
Yeah, like just like you did today. You're on your butt.
If you really come today as a fight, you're ignorant. You junior college dropout.
Oh, so
You junior college dropout.
Yeah, that's why I had 10.
He called him a junior college dropout. All right, now he's really like, yo, man, they really took it personal here. Listen, you know how many guys that are in DC's camp that were in that same situation as Jon Jones? But you know what? If you say it to Jon Jones, I guess it's a lot easier because he is your op. So it is kind of warranted in that regard, I suppose, right?
Million in the bank.
You junior college dropout. You're still an idiot.
I'm a junior college knocker. I'm a junior college.
You're still an idiot. You're still an idiot.
I'm a junior college.
You're still an idiot.
I'm a junior.
You're still an idiot. You're still. I don't care how much money you got. You are still a fucking idiot.
Yes, I'm sitting on 10 mil, baby. What you sitting on?
You're an idiot.
Shut up.
You're an idiot.
Shut up.
You're an idiot. Yeah, it's money, huh? You're an idiot. No, you didn't. That goes to show your level of education. That you count that as a fight.
He said that shows your level of education that you count that as a fight. That's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you won this one because you're not winning the next time I get my hand on.
I whooped your ass just now.
Okay.
I whooped your ass.
Okay, little boy.
You're on your butt.
Okay, little boy.
You're on your butt.
Okay, little boy. You're a punk.
Junior college dropout.
That's what you are.
I got more money than you and your whole family.
Doesn't matter. That's what you are. It doesn't change the fact that, guess what? When this is all said and done, you'll go back to being broke and being a loser as you are.
Yeah, okay.
That's what you're going to do. Sure. That's in your nature.
Sure.
That's who you are.
Sure.
Yo, DC just sort of semi-predicted what was going to happen to Jon Jones lightweight.
Sure.
That's what you're going to do. Trust me.
Hey, if you need help paying for college bills, let me.
Oh, I don't need help. That's the thing. I'm smart. I went to college. I'm smart. So every month, the money I get, I save.
I'm smart. Oh my God.
The money I get, I save. Yours is going to all get used up because you're an idiot.
I save. My house is paid off for.
Yeah, sure. You're an idiot, John. John, you are an idiot, John.
I don't need to commentate in my part time. I'm doing good.
Hey, I commentate because I like to, and I want a future. What are you going to do, Jon Jones, after you're done fighting?
I'm stacked up so good I can tell you right now.
Yeah, sure, John, whatever. You can get, well, I'm glad you got it now because I'm taking everything on September 27th. I'm taking everything September 27th.
Oh my goodness. Hey, are you still there?
I'm here. I'm here.
By the way, just to let you guys know, all of this right here is literally like, how do I say this? Like off-air stuff. So keep that in perspective.
You're the fakest person. I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. And like when the TV comes on, how you can just change. It's like you're a chameleon.
Hey, listen,
it's awesome.
I'm professional.
It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
The fact that your hasn't changed.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how fake you can really be. Like you are just such a thing. My God, it is amazing. It is amazing. But you know what? Hats off to you. You got a great PR person because they do a great job with training you because you are just terrible. You're a fucking scum of the earth. You are a terrible human being, but you can sure turn it on, huh?
Thank you.
God, you fucking suck. I wish they would let me next door so I could spit in your face.
Damn, man. Yo, they really got personal back in the days. And these are some things that you never forget, right? You know, these are some things that you never forget.
You know, I would absolutely kill you if you ever did something like that.
You could never kill me.
Oh, I bet you I could.
Then you should try.
The infamous, I could, I would kill you if you did something like that, right? The infamous line right there.
You really should try, John.
No, I would literally kill you if you spit in my face.
Yeah, let's try that, John.
Literally kill you.
Let's try that, John.
I'm not saying I would fight you. I said I would kill you.
John, John, do you think I'm just going to sit there and let you kill me, John? I mean, really?
He said, do you really think I'm just going to let you sit there and, off me, John? I mean, really?
Coming from a guy who's 5'10".
Oh, it doesn't matter how tall I am. It does not matter how tall I am. But you're such a...
How much you weigh right now, fam?
Enough. How about you?
I'm on 220, 223.
Good.
Feeling strong. Man, you're weak as today.
Okay. John, I swear to God, John, I swear to God, I don't want to insult you. I don't want to fight and be petty. But John, if you really do, are really basing anything off of what happened today on that floor, you are an idiot.
Yeah, but how come you ended up being on the floor and on your
Because
bed?
they had all the security guards grabbing me.
Oh.
You're the worst, dude. Like, seriously. You're the worst, dude. You're the worst. But hey, John, watch, John. I'll be a chameleon just like you. I'll do exactly like you did on this last interview. I won't give him anything. I'll do exactly like you did. Because, I mean, remember, I have Olympic level media training. So watch, I'll show you.
Wow, he says I got Olympic level media training. Watch, I'll show you. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But yeah, man, yeah. So that's literally where these guys come from is beef from within that time frame. So all right, well, let's see what we got right here. Okay, so real quick, I'll be right back. I'm going to show you the new video that I had made today. I want you guys to check this out. And also, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about Tatsuro and his new opponent for UFC Vegas 108. Obviously, not the biggest card, but we are an MMA channel and we're going to cover it anyway. So here's my video right here that I released today. I'm going to show you snippets of it and then you can go watch it on your own. So here you go.
Really? Damn. Who says you can't meet your wife in Miami?
Find your wife in any place in the world. You hear that? Put that on Only in Date on Instagram. You can meet your wife in Miami.
All right, let's put it on Only in Date every year. Why are you saying that?
Huh?
Why are you saying that?
Everyone says that.
Because you go to the party and this is the only place
Yeah.
you see. Like you don't know the another part of Miami of people that just they want. Yeah.
Best place to work out too, Miami, because you can just walk outside and run the water.
Actually, I made my wife in Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, before I go into the reaction to the sparring video, I would just like to say the Nelk Boys are some of the most uneducated YouTubers I have ever seen. Okay, more so than Aiden Ross or Vitali. And the reason why I can't stand them, believe it or not, has nothing to do with the Netanyahu interview, as controversial as that may be. There's a lot of ignorant frat boy, I don't know anything about U.S. foreign policy, naive notions that's being displayed. That's an important factor to understand about this story. Okay, the type of guys that don't know how to read the room is the best way to really put it when it comes to the Nelk Boys. Now, it's also important to understand that there are some red pill ideals behind this, very similar to that of Myron Gaines, Andrew Tate, and the things that they espouse. Even though there are some ideological settings I may agree with, there's also other elements that I may not agree with in that, and that's not necessarily the video here to talk about that. But anyways, I will say picking a life partner, okay, in Miami is probably not the best place to start. So that part I sort of understand, okay? Now, Taporia did make a good point that Miami is heavily stereotyped as this place of party animals when he was just trying to explain to the Nelk Boys that Miami has normal people that go to work and go to school on a daily basis. All right, now, I will say there is a red pill element to this story, okay? A red pill derivative behind it. At the same time, you have to understand the degenerate lifestyles these boys, these Nelk Boys come from, will often lead you to a higher cynical sense of the world. Okay, because quite frankly, we don't know anything about Ilya Tapora or his wife, nor do I really care, to be quite honest with you. And I'm going to get to that as well. Okay, but once again, it also is indicative of how they may perceive people due to the insane lifestyle that they have going on. Okay, the other element I would like to bring up with Marty Miller says, round two, let's go. That's right. Round two for the day. So if you want to check that out, it's on my video section. Taporia's wife disrespected by the Nelk Boys. Taporia beats up Nelk Boys, sparring footage. that I had shown in there. And then I break down the sparring video as well. So be sure to check that out. All right, so this weekend, not the biggest fight card, but it is a fight card nonetheless. Tatsuro Taira is taking on Young-Sung Park, headlining UFC Vegas 108. I'm surprised that it's called 108. Most of these fight cards look like a 108 or some random numbers. Marty Miller says, Nelk boys, all in their 30s, LOL. Yeah. Lloyd, bartender, says, I love Coke. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that you like Coke. So, all right. Tatsura and Young Park are headlining this weekend in a sudden turn of events that sent shockwaves throughout the MMA community this weekend. Okay, UFC Vegas's 108 has a brand new main event. Sung Young Park steps in to face the undefeated Japanese sensation Tatsuro Taira after Amir Albazi was forced to withdraw from his highly anticipated headline due to an injury. Okay. So the reshuffling promises a fresh matchup between the two flyweight division's most exciting talent right now. Okay, offering fans a very compelling showdown in a pivotal moment for both athletes' careers. Okay, so news broke earlier this week that Amir Albazi was set to headline UFC in Apex, right? But would not be able to compete due to an undisclosed injury. Now, they're not mentioning what that injury is. We're never going to know. While the specifics of the nature remain private, sources close to the promotion confirm Albazi had pulled out due to medical reasons, leaving the event without its main attraction. Okay, this is a tough blow for Albazi. Okay, he was seeking to a win, solidify his top contender status in the flyweight ranks. Unfortunately, that's not how it had gone. So, yeah, Albazi is out. Okay, so UFC wasted no time replacing for an opponent, right? Young-Sung Park now sliding into the headline spot against Tatsuro Taira. Both men accept the challenge with just days to prepare, all right? And the stakes couldn't be even higher this time, right? So let's take a look at who Young-Sung Park is, okay? Let's take a look at who this guy is so that we can get a better context of everything here, all right? So this is the new opponent right here, 10-0. Okay, 10-0, 3 wins in the UFC. Has a rear naked choke over Carlos Hernandez. So yes, now he's taken on Tatsura. All right. So let's take a look at Tatsura's stats. Okay. Well, somewhat almost undefeated, but is undefeated in the UFC. Okay. Oh, wait, actually has 1 loss, which is against Brandon Royval, but very close matchup. So you know what? We have a very 50-50 matchup in front of us between these two. Okay, just to kind of put it in perspective. So Young-Sung Park, as I told you, right, one of South Korea's fastest rising flyweights, has quietly built a solid following thanks to his aggressive style and well-rounded arsenal. Park's UFC journey has now been marked with crisp striking and surprising power in a division that is not known for knockouts. Okay, now with a last-minute opportunity, he can propel himself into the title mix and earn global recognition as a main fighter in this particular weight class. So, Marty Miller says, did you see Ilya at dinner with the Nelk saying he's not giving Arman a fight because he's a disgrace for pulling out of the Islam fight? He wants the Paddy fight. I don't blame him. Look, Paddy is a well-known name. Okay, and there's a reason why Paddy is well-known and he's a name. He puts himself out there. You know what else Paddy doesn't do? He doesn't pull out on fights, especially not against Islam Makhachev. Okay? And therefore, I think Ilya is right to do that. A lot of people are saying, oh, you're a duck, this, that, and the other. Guys, you're mistaken business decision for ducking. Those are two totally different things. Business decision and ducking are two different things. Before I go into that subject, so just to let you guys know, this is the main event for this coming weekend. Okay? And so I don't blame him for wanting the Patty fight. Yeah, I don't blame him for wanting the Patty fight at all. Right? In fact, I think he deserves that Patty fight. So, yeah. All right. This is how loosely fighters put. Me neither. It is a smart move, isn't it? Yeah, definitely a smart move. There are families out there. I don't like it. I'm going to let George St. Pierre explain this one for you right now. Okay? Check out what George has to say on this particular matter at hand.
I might act, a little bit crazy as a result of this.
Mario, there's a reason why I never put my family and my real private life public.
Wait a minute, hold on. Breaking news right now. They say that there's an active shooter in NYC right now. Is that what I'm hearing? Hold on a second. Let me see if that
and went to the 33rd floor.
Hold on, what is going on
fire,
here?
And that's where also the two NYPD officers who were working
That's
in
the dragging out the bodies.
capacity, were hit. So we know, it appears at least, Philippe, that he knew where he was targeting. He would, if he went to the 34th floor.
Yeah, he didn't engage anyone else, as you can see, so he kind of knew what he was going to do from the beginning. So possibly an ex-employee at this time. And the most important thing is, we need to ID him because we need to find.
Wow, okay, there's been an active shooter in NYC right now, guys. We're following this story right now.
Something that's, coming from some sort of Middle East threat or anything like that at this point. So the key thing is, we need to ID them. We need to make sure that those, and you can see how they're processing the scene. They are concerned about improvised explosive devices. That's why they took that measure of being able to harness that type of hook on that vehicle, not physically opening it up themselves, their officers. So there is concern. After we identify this individual, hopefully either through cell phone records, because it also comes a forensic investigation where we have to look at, cell phone and where he's been and everything else. We want to get to his residence. We want to do a search warrant and get as much information as we can.
We're looking at a security.
Wow, okay, so there's an NYC shooter going on right now.
Photo that was taken from that.
Oh, wow, look at this. This is the guy right here.
He is dressed in plain clothes. Yeah. He has a blazer on. He has a button-up shirt on, sneakers, and then you see the long gun. This is before he enters the building. He's clearly on his way to go through those revolving doors. But let's concentrate again. I think that it's really important to make this point that he went up to the 33rd floor. Right. So clearly
he knew exactly where he wanted to go.
He knew where he wanted to go.
All right, so there's an active shooter in NYC right now. If there's anybody in NYC right now, let me know in the comment section below and let me know what's going on if you guys are seeing anything.
And you see that extended magazine. You have a person there that's minimum.
Right. So he has an extended magazine.
That's a minimum 30-round magazine.
Yep.
So if you think about it, you know what? This is the
you probably have another mag too.
Weapon that would get people to actually engage in combat. So he went up there. He knew what he was doing. He hit only one specific floor, and I'm amazed that he was still willing to do it. Because if he had any sort of intelligence beforehand, it's usually the same.
Marty Miller says it's prize fighting. Patty is a bigger fight and easier if you were being honest. Yeah. Definitely a lot easier.
I appreciate you, my friend.
Shows, that's just brazen. And that's something you don't see every day.
And talk about brazen and talk about something you don't see every day. This man walking in, apparently when he got out of his vehicle, he must have taken that long gun out of maybe a bag or something. But look at him just
walks in,
strolling through. Not all the people just ran away.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Because usually there are people in a courtyard there.
100%, Marty Miller. Yeah, 100%, man. I would absolutely
notice that gun, or maybe they.
Yeah, I'd lay my life on the line for it if it came down to it, man. Yeah, because otherwise, it would be cowardly of me to not do so, and not doing so would probably send me to, to hell. So yeah, I would absolutely do it, on the grounds of, not just as responsible citizen, but for religious context as well. Yeah, 100% I would, bro. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Fully, trained and armed in the way we prepare our officers, and they had a difficult time.
Yeah, man. All the prayers to everyone in NYC right now.
It's just the fact that the officers didn't really have a chance to wear out guns. Unless they were able to get some information.
All right, so
you're
far,
not going to win against an AR with a pistol.
So far, what we know about the active shooter is that he is a light-skinned African-American male. We don't know if he's of a Muslim background or anything like that. But yeah, he is a black gentleman. We don't know what the ideological cause or reasoning is behind it right now, but they are right now trying to further investigate that. So.
And one more thing, Philippe, I noticed that, as Christine points out, this guy is wearing basically a polo shirt or a long sleeve shirt and a jacket over it. He doesn't appear to be wearing any gear himself, which we frequently see in these shooting situations. Does that tell us anything about the suspect? It just usually, one thing is...
There's Adams going in.
Type of firearm, I see the way he's walking, the way he's dressed. He's looking to blend in, but at the end of the day, you know what?
Oh wow, man! They got Adams in Mayor Adams in some kind of
heavy-duty
gear
that stops all this, high-powered firearms.
Yeah, you can buy that shit on Instagram now, bro.
Easy to buy. Same way you have that large capacity magazine in that gun, and it's out there.
Philippe, we're finally able to.
This is the scene in NYC right now.
Immediately after the chaos broke out after this shooting.
I'm more debate came from out of state.
Always extra careful before we air
from a state that has
any video here at CBS New York until we
I don't think fresh. You mean
picture.
You mean between fresh and fit? I think he's fit and the other guy is fresh because fresh meaning that he's the one that dresses to the occasion, right? Myron is more of like the fit guy that's just a t-shirt wearing type of guy, right? But on any regard, if you mean fit, as in Myron Gaines, is he on the case? No, I don't think he's an active Homeland Security agent anymore. I don't think, but shout out to him. He's also a fellow Muslim brother. Oh, you mean Fresh Melon? Yeah, man, come on, man. Oh man, yeah, right, all right, man. But I tell you what, even if that was true, even if he was in the CIA, right, their whole operations is sort of outside of the United States. This is more something that the FBI would probably engage themselves into domestically.
Definitely drove in from a place that has laxer gun laws, for sure. It looks like Nevada.
Response was because of the...
Yeah, when you meant fresh, I thought you meant this guy, as in the one half of Fresh and Fit. Myron Gaines, Yeah, I thought you meant Myron Gaines, the former Homeland Security agent from the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Was known at that.
But yeah, shout out to him though. He's also a fellow Muslim brother too. So yeah, man, shout out to him.
Time as a
just not the type of conservative Muslim I would like him to be, but he's I guess he considers himself a conservative, but not necessarily conservative from the Islamic perspective. More of like a conservative, as in patriotic American, right? So yeah.
Man with a long gun. Who had already shot an officer and some civilians. We see police arriving. We see them jumping over garden islands. Some of them, clearly approaching with caution, as if somebody could
as well as they should, yeah,
at any moment. And
people are saying it could be a false flag.
Just tell from these pictures what a tense.
Marty Miller says, I don't know much about him besides the interviews he does with all those loose women. Yeah. That's sort of like his whole gimmick that he has going on. Yeah.
Clearly running right into danger and not thinking twice.
Yeah, he's like homies with Andrew Tate, too, on top of it.
The call comes out, officer down to 1013. I mean, your mindset goes into automatic response mode. The most important thing for you at that time is to get there, to make sure your officer is safe, and respond by any means necessary. There's times that
if you hear officer down, bro, you're going in.
Held on.
You're going in.
Just calling for help. And it's just the most important thing at the top.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they have at least one officer shot and killed, one officer injured in Midtown, two civilians injured. Yeah, there have been an officer that has been already unalived, and then obviously two civilians that were uninjured. But
yeah, I was going to say, first of all, we did see May.
The other reason why it's dangerous, guys, is because the bad guy can get their gun. That's another reason, too, why it's such a problem.
As former NYPD yourself, you know the phrase, you're always on the job. These two officers were working in a security capacity, so outside of the job, but on the job. And that feeling has to be going through everybody who is a former officer, who may not be on duty, that at any single moment, something awful like this could happen, correct? It does, but you put it in the back of your mind that every day you still go out there and answer those huge. This is some of the.
yeah, hey, you know what, man? He modified that gun real nice, right? If you guys look, I did have, I did have the a little bit of the footage of him walking in as he was going to do that. So right here, let me show you the picture again.
You still have to secure this crime scene. You still have to do a lot of.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot that goes on in security such a massive crime scene. You got to make sure.
No, I don't have the picture of it yet.
Because you never know. What if there was someone out there who's actually assisting this individual? You want him brought to justice. Where did he get this gun from? That's going to be another situation where we have to call an ATF to a gun trade. Yep. And that becomes the cornerstone sometimes of the investigation of how we trace these firearms and how we actually arrest additional individuals. And how frightening is it the way you describe the power of those rounds that come out of that weapon? How even if perhaps you have
Fair through fucking bulletproof
range, there may be no stopping it, and we know at least one officer tonight lost his life tragically.
Okay, Tower Holdings LLC is on the 33rd floor. Maybe this guy had a grievance.
Adjunct professor.
Because apparently you went right to 33. All right, guys, quick word from our sponsor real quick. Big announcement for you ninjas right now. Big announcement for you.
All right, so let's hear more of this right now. I know we had a few topics that we were going to talk about here, but I figured, you know what, this is an ongoing situation right now, so we're absolutely going to stick to this one right now and see what else was going on. So we talked about, D. Ritter being the number one contender for the 185 belt. He just now has to wait for Khamzat. Tatsuro, we found out his new opponent that he has for this weekend, and that is Sung Young Park. Now, as the show was going on, we found out that there was an active shooter in NYC, and that is what we are covering right now. So, active shooter in NYC. They have yet to find out any identification on this guy as of right now. But all right, let's take a look at what we got going on here. All right, so that's one casualty that we have going on so far. So, all right, more of that right here. Hold on just a second.
Oh my gosh. Jay's outside and leaving like a huge shout. Dude, I walk this way every day. Hey, are you home? Okay, good. Apparently there's a shooter on my side. It seems like it blocks one building. Yeah. Okay. Thank goodness. Alright. I'm going to do stuff, like a bunch of cops congregating outside of 335 Park behind cop cars. Ambulance is going down. Like this. There's 1, 2, 3. This is WMA. Regulars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ambulances. Ambulance. Yes, they're cleaning right now with ambulance. Jesus. Oh my God.
All right, so more on this, okay? More on this. Let's see what else is going on right now. All right, so it doesn't look like much is going on. It just looks like the police are in there, uh, their their tactical gear, sort of waiting what's going on. Marty Miller says, unfortunately, most police departments aren't trained well enough to handle this stuff. You know what? It's a little bit different for NYC, Marty Miller. I will say this, right? Uh, because of the 9/11 initiatives, the Patriot Act, and things of that nature, right? And to being that New York was the one that got hit, they had decided to make a conscious effort into arming the police force like it's an actual security fighting force, right? So over the years, NYC has developed SWAT teams. They've had their men train in tactical, insertions, active shooting situations and things of that nature, right? So I will say that the NYC, in comparison to, let's say, maybe your police department from your part of the United States, is a little more advanced. I would say LA is also right up there too, uh, but not the way that NYC is. NYC is the top of the line police force out of all the police forces in the United States, I would say, right? I think they have the most gear, they are the most well funded, and that is a direct result from the 9/11 attacks. So Marty Miller says, good, that's how it should be. Yeah, yeah, I agree. But unfortunately, that's not the way in every police department. Obviously, there's some police departments that call for defunding, as you know. So yeah, Marty Miller says most departments around here are a joke. Yeah, they only can work with what they have going on, right? So that's the most that they could do, is really just work with what they have going on. Also, it's a budget issue as well. Look, NYC was a big priority during the New York 9/11 days. So obviously, as a result of that, this is the result of it. They are more than a well-equipped fighting force to handle situations like this, and they've been training for over 20 years now to develop the NYC police force. So they have anti-terrorism units. That's not something that you're going to get out of like a rinky-dink police department from any town USA, or something like that. They have task force that work directly with the FBI, and then sometimes even with other foreign entities, because obviously the UN is directly inside NYC, so there's a lot of interactions that they have to do with diplomats and things of that nature, right? So yeah, with that regard, NYC is definitely a top priority for federal budgeting, as you would imagine. So yeah, and the fact that they work closely with the FBI, that's kind of the reason, behind it. So, so far there's nothing really going on from what it looks like right now. What the police are doing, from just my understanding here, is they're just trying to clear the area, trying to secure the area, and at the moment they're going to try to find evidence. Obviously, behind the scenes, they're going to look for surveillance. They're going to try and trace bullets, talk to the ATF to see what kind of findings they can get, how they can trace back to where this person had purchased the gun, who was involved, what is his face, things of that nature. So yeah, that's what all of the things that's happening right now from what it seems. All right, let's see what else is on.
Reporting that they've identified this guy as a 27-year-old male from Nevada, Las Vegas, and that he had an expired private investigator's license.
Oh wow! So how about this? He was a former. He's a Nevada guy. Okay.
So it's in multiple law enforcement sources are telling them that. Interesting. I'm going to CNN right now. Let's see what they got live.
So on Marie says he texted you through the Iran. That's some information.
I saw it. Yeah, so, I mean, look, a lot of this information will be changing as the hours go by, as the minutes go by.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Right now, there's not a lot of information that is happening right now, but absolutely, yeah, more information will pass by as time goes on, for sure.
face value, but until the press conference comes and some of the things get confirmed, I don't like to just jump on them. Again, in the middle of rush hour, 5 to 6 to 7 o'clock, it's rush hour in Manhattan. People are coming and going. Most people are going home, but that doesn't mean that everyone's going home. This guy was able to walk into 345 Park Avenue with an AR-style rifle. If he was challenged and someone tried to stop him, because everyone's got to be keyed in, you can't just walk into these buildings. Or get to the elevators. You need to have check in. So I don't know if there was a shooting event in the lobby, and
So this is a bit of a relief for everyone around here and anyone inside.
All right,
of
let's
that
hear
building.
this.
It's just confirmed from sources in the city that the suspect is dead on the 30th.
Okay, so the suspect is dead. That is a relief to know that he's dead right now. Okay, so
Third floor of the Blackstone building of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Again, the suspect is down. Still at this
so he committed suicide, pretty much, right? Just so just to kind of give you guys a context here.
point, we are being told 3 people are in critical condition. Those 2 civilians who were shot, and also the police officer who we're told was off duty at the time. He was working a paid security detail inside of that building when he confronted that gunman inside the lobby, apparently. And that is when that off-duty officer was wounded in that gunfire. It does appear after the shooting happened in the lobby, the initial gunshots that broke out inside the lobby, the suspect made his way inside that building and up 33 floors. And it's unclear whether...
Now, he was purposely trying to get to the 33rd floor, and we don't know why. I mean, people are speculating that there's a motivation behind that, but yeah.
There are any casualties or injuries on that floor other than the gunman. That is something that is still being investigated right now. You can imagine that the police heavy weapons teams have just made their way up to the 33rd floor and are now clearing the area of any possible potential other dangers. So they are trying to determine the casualty count, if any others on that floor as well. Again, Corey Sauer, the suspect responsible for all of this chaos, is down. He shot himself late tonight, and police tell us that there are 2 other...
Yeah, good thing that he did shoot himself, because he knew that there was going to be nothing left after that. Let's see what this is. Full press conference. 3 dead, 3 injured after gunman. Okay, so
police are holding a press conference in Reno right now. They're walking up to the podium.
oh yeah, and this is in Reno too. There's a shooting in Reno, and then there's one, oh my goodness, man. There's just shootings going on everywhere right now, right? But yeah, this one is in Reno.
So this is a bit of a relief for everyone.
Wow, man, yeah, there's shooting going on everywhere.
Stepped away and pulled it remotely so that in case something went off, they were nowhere near it. Let's watch this from helicopter footage. Yeah, there it is.
And to make sure that
See, they opened the doors remotely because you still have that in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. So it's
That's
right
on
here.
the northeast corner of the building? No, intersection.
You see the cable? You can see the cable.
to
Right
make
there.
sure that no stone goes unturned, and to
Wait, what?
make
So
sure
hold
that
up. I think a guy stabbed a bunch of people at Walmart somewhere today too. I saw the headline about it, but I went to practice. What part was that, in the United States, or was that elsewhere? This one, yeah. So there's one in Reno, and then there's this active shooter in New York, and then we got this one that you're talking about with a guy stabbing everybody around. Yeah, man, what is going on, bro? Like, are people just not getting their medications, or maybe this has some kind of motivation behind, a Luigi Mangione type of thing again? Who knows, right? But it is crazy nonetheless.
no stone goes unturned.
It looks like a Maserati. On the back, I could see the
Okay, so Michigan. We got one in Michigan, Reno, which isn't too far from where I'm at, and then you got one in NYC. So yeah, that's
Maseratis are written Maserati. Spelled out in the script, yeah. Yeah, so it looks like a Maserati. And if you put your blue
cursor in the center of the trunk. It looks like there's a hole there.
Right here.
Right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not quite sure if that, in fact, let me see if I can zoom. No, doesn't let me.
If you,
It won't let me zoom.
if you grab the screen and no? Okay.
Ed, did they have the dogs out already? When the
I didn't see a dog.
I didn't see a dog either.
No stone.
That'll be a follow-up conversation later.
So that was NYPD. People in the chat are asking, Ed, why are they doing that with this car?
Well, because if there's explosives in it, and they're opening the doors and so forth, they don't want to be near it at the time they do this. So they evacuated that area and remotely opened the door and make sure nothing, booby traps there and triggers an explosive.
Yeah, it looks like he just got out and left his driver's side
door open, yeah.
Yeah,
Like right in the street.
had his flashers on.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's right in the middle of it's in the middle of the street.
Do you think he wanted to be stopped? Because it's really overt that he did it in that manner.
Well, we don't know what the traffic was like at that time. It could have been cars on either side of him and stuck in traffic, and he just got out and left his car right there with the hazards on.
And we got to assume that this is the bomb squad because
I hope.
Okay, so we're getting a little bit of bits of information from everybody, just a little bit, and let's see here. Wow. Let's hear this.
We've got surveillance here. It's been made at this residence. Just after sunrise. He has prior arrests for weapons and gang enhancements and narcotics. Sacramento County Sheriff's SWAT officers and gang detectives start gearing up.
All right, cool. Again, about 3 minutes out ETA or en route.
So we're executing a search warrant on a unknown gang member.
Target Street. All occupants reported to exit through the front door with their hands up.
It's a culmination of the daily work. So we're open to find illegal narcotics and illegal arms. Done by one of California's last gang units.
This is the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office.
All right, so something you can go check out later. So he says we have so many shootings here in Akron that most don't even get reported on the news anymore. Yeah, it would be like that sometimes, right? But yeah, man. It's like if it happens so often, it doesn't even become news anymore, right? It just becomes like something that is numb and sort of a norm in that part of the world now. Kind of like Stockton, San Bernardino is also like that. So yeah, let's see here. All right, let's hear what
Again, this
ABC News had to say.
Shooting a short time ago in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. It happened outside 345 Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets. Take a look here. You can see someone with a rifle walking outside the building on Park Avenue that contains the NFL headquarters and the consulting company Blackstone. A short time later, we could see people walking outside.
All right, so there we go. Now we're starting to find out a little bit of something here, right? Blackstone is involved, and you know that there has to be some kind of motive behind this.
And with their hands up, let's get right to our Aaron Katersky, who's on the phone with the latest reporting. Aaron, just give us a TikTok of what you know happened so far.
We believe that this man who's armed with a long gun, Lindsay, shot an off-duty NYPD officer who was working a security detail at 345 Park Avenue. We believe for the Blackstone Group. The building also, as you say, contains the headquarters of the NFL. It's not clear that either of those companies or any company.
Okay, so headquarters of the NFL, Blackstone, very powerful companies, right? So this guy is motivated by something. Was he a disgruntled employee to a certain degree? We're going to find out.
Happened to be involved in this, but the man is believed to have shot the off-duty officer, at least one civilian as well. Their conditions unknown, and then fled inside the building There was a floor-by-floor search as police pursued the suspect. People who worked for various companies in the building were told to shelter in place, and the upper floors remain locked down tonight, Lindsay. Finally, the shooting suspect, according to police sources, was found dead of what's believed to be a...
So that's one thing we got to confirm right now, right? You know, the suspect is for sure dead. So that is one thing that we can confirm.
Self-inflicted gunshot wound on the 33rd floor of the building.
And so the lockdown is now over, Aaron, is that right?
But the lockdown is not over as far as the police are concerned. They are still keeping some of the upper floors of the building locked down, perhaps as they conclude their investigation, but other people have been cleared to leave. So it's just been a terrifying day and into the evening for people who work at 345 Park Avenue and the surrounding buildings in Midtown Manhattan, concentrated with any number of office buildings. There's some residential in the area too. But this shooting happened in daylight on a very hot day. It sent people scattering. It sent other people who were inside the building seeking cover where they were before police gave the all clear, saying the suspect was found dead on the 33rd floor.
And we understand that the deputy director
All right,
of the
so
FBI says that the bureau is now...
So he was found dead on the 33rd floor, and that may have something to do with the fact that he was maybe targeting somebody specifically.
Providing assistance to the NYPD. I know it's still early on in the investigation. I'm imagining the shooter's name hasn't been released, or if he...
Yeah, that's another thing. The shooter's name has not been released yet, so that remains to, that remains to be seen.
Had any relationship with any of the offices inside the building.
By now, you can bet that the authorities are working on those very questions, Lindsay, because they're going to want to know who this person was, where the long gun came from. It is there are very strict rules about guns in New York City, and so how that weapon was obtained is going to be a question, and then whether there's any connection to an individual or to a business that's located inside 345 Park Avenue. It does contain, as we've said, some high-profile companies, but whether that was a connection has still not been determined at this early stage, Monday.
And I understand that there was a security guard who was involved in some way. Do we have a sense of the number of victims?
Not. It was an off-duty NYPD officer who was working a security detail for a client inside that building that was shot, condition unknown, taken to the hospital in an unknown condition. We believe at least one civilian, if not more, were also shot before this suspect was found dead, on one of the upper floors, the 33rd floor of the building.
Why has the building not been cleared yet, given that they believe that the suspect is now deceased?
I think it probably is clear. The NYPD believes this is now over and contained. They may have some investigative steps to do as they finish, and always, Lindsay, out of an abundance of caution, there's always an assumption that there may be, an additional threat, even if there's no evidence of that. So the police want to make sure, but we believe a couple of the upper floors may still be locked down, even as some of the other floors on the building are now released.
And again, I understand that this is so preliminary and early on in the investigation, so sorry to kind of put you on the spot with some of these questions, but at this point, do we believe that the only death is the suspect?
We're not sure of that, Lindsay. We do know that the suspect is believed to have died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound up on the 33rd floor.
You know what? They keep saying self-inflicted wound, right? Why don't they just say the man killed himself in a suicide? Well, I don't know why they can't just say that, but I get it.
Do not know the condition.
It's not like we say it either in YouTube land, right? We kind of say like on the live or all these other, strange vernaculars that we use to try and describe what it really is, but I get it.
Of other people who were shot, and frankly, Lindsay, we're still hearing conflicting reports about the numbers of people who were shot. We know that there was the off-duty NYPD officer, and we believe at least one civilian. It's possible those numbers change as the investigation deepens.
A few of us have been inside that building before. Obviously, there's heavy security, and so a number of people are going to want to know, how did he make it up to the 33rd floor? And again, I'm presuming it's too early to know.
Yeah, I think it is, Lindsay, and if he was carrying what looks to be a long gun in the image that we obtained, did he shoot his way inside? Did he merely threaten? Were there people towering? All of those things, I think, are going to be, answered in the coming hours.
Okay, Eric Katursky, thank you so much as always for your time and insight. Really appreciate it. On the phone now, I want to bring in retired Chief of Detectives for NYPD, ABC News contributor.
All right, so far they don't really know a lot about what's going on. They're trying to clear the area. I think they're trying to investigate for DNA for any possible clues that they could find, and they have yet to really release anything on this particular matter yet.
Boyce, Bob, a man carrying what appears to be an assault rifle in Midtown Manhattan. Imagine it's one of your worst nightmares. How did the NYPD appear to respond tonight?
As we always do. Now, we don't get many active shooters. This is unusual. And it's more unusual than that in a building like that with so many corporate entities, with all kinds of private security nearby. So this is a really unusual situation. The officer who was shot, from what I understand, was working.
All right, so they're saying that it's an unusual situation. So the question is, could there have been security that was told to stand down to sort of maybe suggest a false flag operations, maybe?
Pay detail, which is working usually in uniform, allowed by the NYPD, but he's all civvy. So at that point, he's working for one of those companies in there, and we had to figure out what that was all about. What did the officer do to confront him when he saw this individual coming with an assault rifle, with, from what I understand, an extended magazine on it as well? And apparently, this is what happened, and then the shooting took place. So the situation is contained now, and now we work back to find out exactly why he was doing the motive. They had to clear the building. That's important to understand too. It's a crime scene, so people have to be pulled from there. And you really don't know who's who in this thing when you get there, when you're first on the scene. So you have to do it really tactfully as best as you can. All prayers for the officer and the wounded victims right now. I don't have to tell you what an assault rifle can do.
And what's interesting is we were just looking at that image that's on the screen, is that he didn't have a concealed weapon. I mean, it was out in the open, and so you'd have to wonder, as I was just discussing with Aaron Katursky, how he was able to get back into the building, or get into the building initially with that gun, and then make it up to the 33rd floor.
That's correct, and we'll determine that through videos and all kinds of things. Exactly, did he brandish the gun as soon as he walked in? It looked like he had it open at the time, and you have to wonder exactly who he pointed out to get to where he got in the upper floors. So that'll all come back in the investigation. Right?
Yeah. So that is obviously what they are trying to look for in the investigation. Why did he go to the 33rd floor? Was there a possible motive of his reasoning to go up there? And what else might have motivated him to go after this company as opposed to another company where, like they mentioned, there's a lot of private security going on around in that area. So, all right.
Right now, we're working backwards to find out exactly. We'll also in the building and see where it came from. He come out of the subway. When did he show that weapon? Because it's in the streets of Manhattan. That's, I don't have to tell you, it's very unusual. And so many private sector security agencies are there. It's really, really surprising he got that far armed with that gun. Again, it was, and no one else got shot on the way up there. So these things are all very, very surprising. In the coming hours, we'll find out more and more once we identify the individual.
In an event like this, the goal of police is, of course, to neutralize the shooter. But short of that, what else are officers doing to try to minimize any loss of life?
Right now, you have to check every room in the building and make sure.
All right. So that's.
Sure, everybody's okay. There's no one had any medical emergency. People have heart attacks when this happens. It really scares you quite often. So you have to deal that into the equation too. Hospitals are nearby. That's not an issue. We have a lot of hospitals in New York. But right now, the critical injuries that the officer and at least two victims incurred have to be dealt with right now.
We know there was an order to shelter in place for those inside the building. What's the purpose of such an order? How long do you think that that's going to remain in place?
So that is common protocol in all active shooters. And like I said before, each building will have to be searched and let go and walk out. That's what happens there. They're walking people out of there right now, from what I understand. CRC is there, walking down the corridors, down to the elevators, and to the stairways out of the building. That's a shelter in place. Means you stay there until you see a uniformed police officer come out and free you and walk you out. So that's going on right now.
And Bob, with the shooter now dead, what will police do in order to try to learn more about him and a possible motive?
You really have to. There's a lot to it. We have to identify him first. So we're going to take the serial number on that gun and see if that goes anywhere. They'll have fingerprints.
Okay, so just like what I mentioned earlier, right? You know, the fingerprints, the serial number of the gun, and what else? Arrest records. They're going to find out a little bit of everything, and then they're going to try to piece everything out. But with that, I don't think there's really much to say about this right now. We'll probably get more information as the time goes on. But yeah.
Face, if at all possible, in facial recognition to see if they can identify him in that way. Save that, and it's a lot more after that to see if you can identify him. He doesn't have the ID on his person. There's a lot we can do to identify him, and then work back social media, all kinds of things, and see what his anger was, what caused this whole thing.
We can imagine that for the sake of the investigation, police would urge pedestrians from getting near that area of 52nd and Park and Lexington.
Yeah, it'll be locked down for probably all night. So they really have to go back to the video to see where this individual came from. Did he come out of a subway? Did he take a bus? And was that gun hidden at that time? Did he take a car or cab or anything like that? They'll work back on him before he got there, as they did so many times in investigations in Manhattan with this video everywhere. Most people will come up and even cell phones, whatever they have on this individual. It's important to understand that.
But again, you say that this is
all right. So going back to
more about Bradford Gilly and
right here, this is what I believe Miller had told me earlier about the Walmart stabbing. So here it goes.
And what he was doing leading up to Saturday's events. Our Allie Baxter joins us live now from the Content Center. And Allie, you spoke with Gilly's family today.
Yeah, Maya, I talked to his older brother, Shane. He says he was at the beach when people started sending him photos of what turned out to be his brother, Bradford, being arrested.
But there is a backstory to this, and it's put our family through hell.
The man you see here being loaded into a sheriff deputy's car is 42-year-old Bradford Gilly, the man accused of stabbing 11 people at Walmart Saturday.
We knew this was coming, but not this form.
But how did Gilly get here? As more information comes out about the mental health issues Gilly was fighting, his brother, Shane, sheds light on a battle that's been lifelong, starting with what Shane says was a bad reaction to a combination of drugs that put him in a, quote, permanent trip when he was 15.
We were staying in the Ronald McDonald house down in Grand Rapids while he was being evaluated, and he never came out of it.
Shane says his family was overwhelmed for the next 28 years trying to find long-term placement for his brother in a mental health facility.
And there's nothing available, and there has been nothing available. There's only temporary spots.
So yeah, I would imagine that this NYC shooter, by the way, we're watching something about the Walmart shooter or the Walmart stabber right now, but I would imagine the NYC shooter has something to do with mental health as well, and we're going to find out exactly what that is.
Spots for him, and he would get into a temporary spot, get medicated for a little bit, start doing really good, showed good signs to the doctors, and they said, we have no reason to hold him, he's doing good.
Gilly's vagabond tendencies mean the family was getting calls from law enforcement all across the country.
We're trying to track him down. We got police looking for him for wellness checks. We'll get calls in the middle of the night from the police in Pennsylvania that he's running down the highway naked.
In 2016, according to Emmett County Circuit Court
records. Oh, wow. Okay, so he definitely had a history going on right now, the Walmart stabber that we're focusing on right now.
Gilly believes someone was buried alive at Greenwood Cemetery in Petoskey, so he decided to dig up the grave. Several other headstones were shoved over in the same area. Those charges were dismissed and allowed him to plead not guilty due to insanity.
Wow, so he pleaded not guilty due to insanity. That's crazy.
28 years of witnessing his ups and downs and his disconnection to reality, and talking about whether it be alien abductions or, chickens being spayed or neutered or something like that, like, what are you talking about, man? This is a true insanity case.
Before Saturday's mass stabbing incident in Grand Traverse County, 10 days ago, according to Mackinac City Police, Gilly argued with an employee at Mackinac Family Market and was asked to leave the store. An employee told police Gilly pulled a knife out of his pocket when he was outside, but did not.
Marty Miller says, you would be good at reporting news on the scene, Kyrie. Yeah, I've been told that, man. You know what I mean? I've been told that. But, obviously, going to school for something like that, like journalism, is one thing. But then getting in there, trying to get a job with a big old beard looking like, a jihadi is another thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for that. That was something I was, kind of shooting for. But alhamdulillah, was led to something else. So
Threatened anyone. And in Petoskey on July 24th, the Department of Public Safety officers talked to him about loitering. They noted, based on concerns about his
there it is. There it is, right? I think that's the best thing of all. It's kind of like in the 90s, right? Everybody wanted to get into like mainstream television and this, that, and the other, right? Well, now people, can just get on YouTube and have their own audience, in any capacity that they wish.
welfare. They petitioned Emmett County Probate Court for an order to place him in protective custody.
This has just gone on so far and so long that, like I said, you can't throw any more flags. You can't wave any more signals. You can't make any more smoke signals. Like, there's been fire here for so long.
Shane had this message to share on behalf of his family to those affected by his brother's alleged actions Saturday.
To the families that have all been involved.
That's right. Yeah, you could do it independently. That's what it is.
Witnesses and everything. Again, a big apology from my heart. All I can say is we've tried to get this under wraps for a very, very long time.
Okay, so.
And we've just been ignored.
Shane tells me he plans on writing a letter to his brother in jail when he has the right words to say.
All right, so we go from Walmart. Where was that again? What part of the United States was that again? Let me see here. That was that in your part where this Walmart stabbing was? Let me see here. Where was this stabbing at? Right here, Michigan. Okay, so that explains why. Yes, the news. The news here says up north live, right? Because it's in Michigan. Okay, so then there's one in Reno. Let's check out the one in Reno, Nevada. The Reno shooting one right here. Let's see what this is about right here.
Yeah, early this morning, about 7:25, we received a report of an active shooter in the Valley area of the GSR. We responded to the scene, and within 4 minutes, we had located the suspect, and an officer-involved shooting had occurred. The suspect was taken to the hospital. I don't have an update as to his status at this time, but I do know that it was an adult male.
Okay, so adult male. But obviously for that one, I believe he's in the hospital right now. So what is this? What do we know about the Reno shooter? Okay, here we go. Let's see this right here.
We have no reason to believe.
By the way, guys, I fought in the same arena with Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez was in the same card as me in that same facility.
There's a connection between any of the victims and the suspect.
It's weighing heavily on everyone's hearts.
Tragedy outside a casino. 3 people are dead and 3 others are hurt after a shooting in Reno today. That suspect now in custody after being shot by police. Hello, everyone. We do thank you for joining us.
Okay, so the guy in Michigan, he's not dead. He's alive. He was caught and captured. The guy in Reno was shot. He's alive, but is in custody. The guy in NYC is dead, and and a couple of officers had died, unfortunately, with the process. So
we've been tracking this breaking news for several hours now. I want you to take a look. The shooting happened in the valet parking lot of the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino. It's the largest casino in Reno. ABC 10's Becca Hubbaker is there live now with the very latest information. And Becca, I understand one police officer was also injured.
Yeah, Chris, there was a shootout here this morning at the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino between the suspect and law enforcement, including Reno PD. The Reno police chief tells us she believes the officer was hurt by glass, shards of glass in the shootout, and not by gun.
Okay, so it was glass that hurt the officer, not necessarily, anything, related to gunfire. So.
Fire. Now take a look. This behind me is the valet area of the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino. This all occurred in the parking lot just before 7:30 this morning. This is as close as we can get, by the way, as the parking lot area where the shootings happened is closed to the public as law enforcement investigates. The casino itself remains.
Look at this. So I fought in the same area before, right? We parked right here, and then the hotel was there, and then that is literally right there where the area where Reno Combat Fighting Championship holds its fights at. So just a little interesting note there.
Open and operating. Now, police say the suspect was seen walking onto the parking lot from the north part of the property and to the valet area. Once there, he pulled out a handgun and pointed it at victims. His gun malfunctioned, but then he was able to get it working again. He shot 5 people in the valet area. 2 of them died.
Look at this. This local news only had one comment, and this is by some guy named Gary Russell. Look what this idiot says right here. Look at this. The intelligence of America right here. Trump should be in jail. Oh man. Not really. Not really. I'm never going to hate it or get away from it, but actually doing it, no, not really, because if you've been there, you know the consequences are involved in it, so you're kind of like, you know what? Yeah, it's better on this side being an analyst. I'll tell you that to answer that question, Marty.
Who are in critical condition, and 1 was treated and released. Casino security responded to the shooting. The gunman ran toward the northern end of the parking lot where he shot at someone driving their car. That person also died. Within minutes, police arrived on scene and shot at the gunman who returned.
Right here, that same area right here. I remember this parking lot very well right here, right? And that's, yeah, you go inside, and right behind there, right behind this area, right here is where the place where you fight at. So, yeah. All right.
Fire, the suspect was eventually hit, and he is now in critical condition. Police say additional ammunition was found on him. Police say they do not yet know the shooter's motive, and they have no indication at this point that he had any ties to the victims. Again, he is in custody, so police say there is no ongoing threat to the public.
The bravery and rapid response fire officers stopped the suspect's rampage on innocent victims, which definitely saved lives and prevented additional people from being victimized.
I tried asking whether any of the victims were employees at the casino, but officials did not take any questions at today's news conference. They say the names of victims will be released in coming weeks. They also did not disclose the name of the suspect. Now, since this was an officer-involved shooting by Reno PD, the neighboring police department, Sparks PD, is the lead agency on this investigation, assisted by the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. Anyone with information is asked to contact Sparks PD. Again, 3 people dead in the shooting at Grand Sierra Resort and Casino, 2 in critical condition, 1 person treated and released, an additional police officer injured and believed to be okay and be able to recover from these, and the suspect himself in critical condition. We will bring you the latest on this investigation coming up on the ABC 10 News at 6. For now, I'm Becca Hubbaker, live in Reno, Nevada. Chris?
All right, so that's Reno, Nevada. All right, let's go back to New York, and then we'll probably cut it from here if we don't get any more information on this particular topic.
We're sending alerts to all of the employees who were actually still left in the building, telling them shelter in place, hide, do not come out of your office, stay away from any sort of door or window where someone could take aim at you. We have someone who's going to be joining us soon. We have a guest his name is Kirk Buckholter. Now, he's a professor.
Kirk Buckholter? Did I hear that right?
Detective. Thank you for joining us. We know the facts of this case so far. A man, and the images are pretty shocking, walks into this building holding a
weapon in his right hand. When you see that, what's your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction is that it's just it's such a New York thing that someone can walk the street in such a bizarre fashion by so many people, and there's a small chance that he's going to garner some type of reaction. It's just wildly unfortunate, to say the least, that someone can walk with some type of replica assault rifle, walk down the street, walk into the building, and I have no doubt that at some point the NYPD will recover footage from the various surveillance cameras of him exiting a car, the subway, pulling that rifle out, and walking perhaps an entire block.
You guys hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
So it's really unfortunate.
Hold on a second. Let me make sure
totally
1 2 1 2 here.
In a situation like this, I mean, everyone is thinking, okay, I may work in a building, I may walk in this area. What are the types of security procedures in place?
See here, mic check
when
1
you
2
have an
1 2.
active shooter? What are we supposed to do when you're in a building this tall?
Okay, you guys can still hear me?
Okay, good.
Okay, you guys can still hear me?
It's difficult. That's a
I can
difficult
hear you. Okay.
discussion because
Sorry, my earpiece went out.
Every
So
single active shooter follows some type of specific pattern, and they don't. These are human beings. The best thing
okay, so that's a good point, right? To mention that they don't really follow a specific pattern. That's also important to kind of understand, right? These guys act in a random manner. They are random in their insanity, so you never know how they're going to go about conducting themselves, doing one thing to another. So
and the guard against fire and other types of hazards. Security is not there to protect against some type of assault by an active shooter. They're there to discourage that, hopefully.
Yeah, this guy's writing in the background. That's what you guys can hear with the fucking thing. DPG with the 50 gifted. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah. So what a lot of people are surprised by his brazen attitude of just walking into that building, right? Without any regard or hesitation. I mean, look, I think we can agree that maybe this guy had planned on dying. He knew that he was going to die. He knew that he was in here for like some kind of suicide mission and not coming back. So, yeah.
In a situation like this, can we go through what might have happened inside in a situation like this? They're not there to prevent an active shooter, but what happens? You've had a lot of experience, many years in law enforcement. What happens in a situation like this inside?
Well, security should be the eyes and ears of law enforcement. Hopefully, they had time to notify the authorities, call 911, and then to authorities when they are there, and to help with the evacuation of civilians. It's very difficult to keep eyes on this person when they enter the building and where they travel, to which direction they travel to. It sounds like the off-duty police officer was somewhere in the lobby on the first floor and was one of...
Okay, so they had an off-duty police officer on site.
Here you have one of the most trained individuals in that building with regards to law enforcement and protecting others, and he succumbed to his wounds right away. So right away things went askew, and who's to say that security is on each and every floor and how robust that security is? There's just not enough people in the world that have that level of training to be perform these types of security duties in every single office building in New York City.
So when we look at this investigation, we know that they're going to be looking at security footage, trying to determine where he actually walked, how long it took him, how long he was walking in Manhattan on these streets calmly with what looks like this replica assault rifle. What else are they likely to do in this investigation to try to figure out a motive? And the big question, determine whether he was working by himself or if there were more people involved.
Sure. So let's talk about that weapon, which was rather large and menacing.
There's a strong possibility that
he says rather large and menacing weapon.
Many blocks with that weapon entering the building. So I would not be surprised to find that we see he exited public transportation or some type of vehicle and then pulled the weapon out within fairly close proximity to the building. But that's the next piece of the investigation. The police are going to scrub every piece of video within that area. Next, determining where he came from and if he had any associates or accomplices or anyone with him. Did someone drive him to the scene, or did he arrive there on his own? The weapon in and of itself, where did it come from? Was it purchased legally? Was it purchased illegally?
Probably brought it from Las Vegas.
To operate in fully automatic.
Yeah, that's a good point. Being that he is from Las Vegas, he does have a gun that looks like he could have probably brought it from Las Vegas. So yeah.
Or did someone else? And then finally, the information we have now is that the shooter is from Las Vegas. So I'm fairly certain that the authorities in Las Vegas are already at his residence of record, determining if anyone lives there, and they're going to have to work and get some type of search warrants and do this properly, because there may still be others who are alive that might incur some type of criminal liability. So the police just can't go willy-nilly and kick down doors and do those types of things. So they're going to have to involve prosecutors on.
Hey guys, I got my Ninja Watcher shirt on. Smash the like button on YouTube, guys.
Shetty says, Moolah, shout out to you, my man. Are you calling me the Moolah?
Smash the like button. We only got 1,800 likes with 4,000 plus of you guys in here.
A lone gunman to do all of it, or is it highly unlikely?
Oh, it's certainly possible. I mean, we've seen this throughout history. Folks that operated alone did far more. Timothy McVeigh basically operated alone, and many others. So it's certainly possible.
All right, guys, so I might go into the news here very soon, cover some topics, switch it up a bit, right? Cover some of these stats, cover the deal.
Don't know.
So we making entry to 345 Park Avenue, Central. Where's the mail shot at? Is it at 345 or 545? 345 Park Avenue. He's on the 345 Park Avenue. He's on the corner. 10-4, rushes him. Be advised, they already rushed him. 10-4, take 10. Mail shooting, stay there for the assault rifle, Central. As per the victim, stay there for the assault rifle. Be advised.
They mentioned the assault rifle the guy had?
CRC third sergeant. Your third. Heavy weapon 3 sergeant official. That's a 10-4, Kane. I got both of them. No, both of them. That's a 10-4, Kane. They're gonna come. Sergeant, heavy weapons 1 lane. 10-4. 10-4 CRC sergeant. 10-4. The location Central. 345 Park Avenue, East 51, East 52. That's where you want to come. Is there a seating area set up yet? We don't have anything further. I'm trying to ascertain if GSU is 84 to what's going on. If you call in the staging area, please advise me the location. CRC Third Sergeant. CRC Third Sergeant, go ahead. They got some heavy weapons keep over here, Central. They want the heavy weapons? I said they have all.
You are hearing the police, radio of when the shooting happened.
10-4, 1835 hours, all SRGs are to respond to 345 Park Avenue, Authority SRG operation forthwith. Here, I think what's that location? 345 Park Avenue, East 51 to East 52. Cobra Sergeant, go.
Just to update you, NBC's Tom Winters says that there are 6 total people dead.
the shooter, 4 civilians.
Wow, so now there's 6 people dead.
I believe Fox News is reporting the same number, but that is what Jonathan Dienst and Tom Winter from NBC News are reporting, that 1 police officer dead. And I think from what the reporting we've heard, that officer was working off-duty as security in the building. 4 civilians dead, 1 shooter dead, reportedly of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Also, we've heard reporting of people injured. I don't have a number of injured for you. So we are going to hear more coming up in just a half an hour. That is when the press conference will be. I'm hoping to have, I should have live video of that, I would think.
Okay, so they have a half hour from now, they're going to have the press conference.
We're going through right now and checking out the replay of the scanner to hear what happened when it was called in. And we've been giving you, showing here, listening to what police reporting as it was called in and in the early moments there. So again, this is, it's not clear. The shooting suspect has been identified by multiple outlets as 27-year-old Shane Tamura, reportedly in the...
All right, so now the suspect has been identified, right? Shane Tamura is his name. Okay, so just keep in mind of that, right? He's been identified as Shane Tamura.
Scanner suggested they found his car outside. Shane Tamura of Las Vegas, 27 years old. I reposted photos on my X account, a photo of him walking in the building, apparently, with his long gun, which was reportedly an AR-15, a blurred photo of him reportedly dead on the 33rd floor. You can go, I can't show those on the air, but you can go to my X account, @Lookner, and you can pull those posts up if you want. And my X account should be linked at the top of the chat. And we'll see what we hear at that upcoming press conference. And let me just see if I have anything else new for you right here.
The suspect. The suspect then continued fleeing north through the parking lot. Another...
Okay, so let's take a look at who the NYC Shooter has been identified as. NYC Shooter. Okay, so the updates. Okay, so this is what we know so far, right? The shooting has been reported this evening at a high-rise Midtown Manhattan building. 2 senior law enforcement officials say an officer, 4 civilians were killed inside 345 Park Avenue, New York City. Sources said police said the shooting was carried out by a lone gunman, okay, whom sources have identified as Shane Devon Tamura, 27 years old, of Las Vegas. Let me see if we can find this guy on social media. This should be interesting. If they could find him on social media, then imagine how... Nothing so far. All right, I wouldn't expect to find. So, okay. 4 law enforcement officials have told this. A motive for the shooting has not been determined. The building that the address has several tenants, including Blackstone and KPMG. So that is what we have so far in terms of identifying the gunman.
Some of these, the CEOs of some of these big companies have their own executive protection details, and they usually sit, again, right where you come into the office, and then they sit by the CEO or the chairman's office, and they have procedures so that if something like this happens, they get their protectee in a safe place. They lock down the doors. They put, a lot of them are armed. They put their armed security at the entryway to make sure that no one's coming in that's a threat. So they have procedures. They probably have safe rooms for people where they can go, and the security falls on top of it. So each of the companies that are in that building probably have their own security, and then you probably have some executive protection details in there for some of the CEOs and other chairmen or the commissioner of the NFL type of thing.
And in terms of that executive protection, I mean, what are their capabilities in a situation like this?
A lot of them are off-duty police officers, retired military, retired SEALs, special forces guys. I've worked with a ton of them.
So they're saying that a lot of the guys that have worked in this particular, security have all been former special forces guys. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so with that in mind, that is all that I really have for this one right now, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Obviously, there will be more onto this particular subject, understanding the motive, who this guy is, and what he's got going on. But for now, everybody around the world, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one, inshallah. Have a good night, man. Shout out to Marty Miller, man. Was waiting for you to give me the goodbye on that one. All right, my man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Marty Miller. Shout out to Shetty. Shout outs to Lloyd the bartender. Shout out to NJ03, and shout out to everybody around the world. If you want more information on this, so far as what we have, rewind back from the very beginning, along with some MMA content that we have as well. All the best to everybody around the world. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one, inshallah. Oh, and don't forget to check out my Ilya Tapora video where I break down him breaking down the Nelk boys after dissing his wife. So it's a good video. Go check it out. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, inshallah.